Welcome back to Comedy or Worse. I'm here with my very special guest,
Audrey Hebert.
Yay! I never prepped the guest.
Oh boy.
I just always pointed them so they get the correct pronunciation of their name. Yes. So how are you doing today?
Pretty good, yeah. How about you?
I'm doing evil.
Oh no.
No, I'm doing good.
Now I'm scared.
Pretty good. Oh no. Let's see. So, how did you get into comedy?
Well, when I was in college, I worked for this like satire newspaper they had on campus at UC Santa Cruz called
Wow.
Fish Rap. And there were people there that did stand up, and so they were running some open mics on campus. So then I started going to those, and then
Oh wow. That's
yeah,
cool.
and then after I got more comfortable with it, I started doing shows around Santa Cruz.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's super cool. So, how long have you been doing comedy then?
I did my first mic in 2018, but it's been a little bit on and off because of the pandemic and everything. There was like a while when I just wasn't really
Yeah.
doing it, and then I started doing it around San Diego, I think about 2 years ago.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're one of my favorite comics for sure.
Oh, well, thank you.
So you don't use a stage name, right?
No, this is my real name, for better or worse. Maybe I should have used a stage name. It's too late now, though.
Yeah, but I wonder if it ever would be confusing. Like, wait, what? Oh yeah, that's my stage name. I forgot. I'm not on stage.
Is Aaron Trahan your real name?
Yes. I have a middle name, but I don't use. I did think of using it. In fact, when I decided to become a comic, and then for a little bit, I changed my social media to comedian AET. You know, Aaron Trahan, and then I'm like, wait, do I want people to use my middle name? And I'm whatever, it doesn't matter. And then I came up with Aaron Made You Laugh. I was like, it just felt like I needed a better social media handle. But what do you know? So, what is your writing process for comedy?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think sometimes I'll just think of something that's funny to me, and then I'll try to find a way to like make it funny to other people.
Right.
Like, how do I almost like explaining why it's funny to me? I mean, not explaining because it's like explaining the joke wouldn't be funny, but write the joke in a way that's funny to other people.
Right.
And then a lot of the time I'll be talking to someone, and just in conversation I'll make a joke, and then I'll realize like, oh, I could use that in my set, or they'll say like, oh, you could use that in your set. I mean, I want to sit down and actually write more often in like a structured way, but I don't know, I feel like I just usually end up coming up with ideas when I don't know, just doing something else, like when I'm just walking around.
Yeah.
Or I'm doing the dishes or something, I'll come up with ideas.
Yeah, that's cool. That's kind of how I am too, just random. Do you ever just have a premise and go up on stage and write on stage?
No, I've never done that. That sounds scary. I feel like I'd just be like mumbling the whole time and not coming to a conclusion or a punchline, and the audience would just be like, what's this lady doing up here? Have you ever done that?
Sometimes I just kind of just free flow, and not even always on purpose. But it's fun to like do that, and then like could get into a joke a different way.
Yeah. Have you done improv at all?
I took like a workshop once, a free workshop, and it was fun, but it was so different. And I mean, we weren't doing group stuff, but still, like, it feels so. It seems so almost more, you'd be more vulnerable because they're asking you to kind of like acting, you know, like, oh, here, well, I don't even remember what it was. It was like, I was like, I don't remember what the prompt or what we were supposed to do, but it was just like, oh, pay attention to me or whatever. It's just like, oh, you know, like almost like, it almost started feeling like more like therapy. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. And then the teacher's like, yeah, that's the work. Like, oh, okay.
Improvising on stage when you're doing stand-up sounds scarier than improvising with a group of people. Because I used to do improv for a little while when I was in high school, actually, and it was kind of nice in a way because you could always like fall back on the other people in the group and like take cues from them. But when you're doing stand-up, you're totally alone on stage, and if you're trying to come up with something in the moment, it's like you're relying entirely on yourself. That seems scary to me.
Yeah. Maybe it was just that exercise. It was I don't know. I want to try it more and see, you know, if I think I would like it because I want to, like, you know, even just a group of comedians, it's like start coming up, riffing and coming up with stuff, or even sketches or something.
Yeah,
do you do sketches?
Yeah, you were talking about sketches the other day, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I did a sketch writing group with some people in college for a little bit, but I mean that's a little bit. It's a lot harder to get a sketch executed than stand up because it's like dependent on all the other people that are acting in it, and then it's like you have to think about like, okay, how do I want this to be filmed, or like where am I going to perform this, and it's harder to have like a place to perform sketches than to do stand up.
Yeah.
But I like writing sketches, so I mean if there was like somewhere where I could perform them, or like other people who wanted to film sketches, I'd definitely be down to try writing sketches more.
Yeah, like I see other groups and I'm like, wow, like they must have just threw out like thousands of ideas that weren't that good and then come up with something that was really good. Or maybe they're just good at sketches. It's like, you know, it's like dang, you know, you just have like, the ideas are just better. I feel like better than what I've come up with. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you watch a whole episode of SNL, it's kind of like, wow, there's a lot of like bad sketches in here, but it makes sense because they have to like write a whole new batch of them every single week, and it's like, well, they're probably doing a lot better than most people would if they had to do that every single week.
Right, yeah. So, let's see. Have you ever like traveled for comedy?
Not really. I haven't really been any further than LA to do comedy.
Okay.
But I don't know, it'd be fun to go on tour or like explore different places. Actually, I did a little bit of comedy in Austin when I was there over the summer.
Oh, nice.
I didn't get on Kill Tony or anything, but I did a roast mic at this club in downtown Austin.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
So it was kind of funny to be like roasted by comedians that I've never met before.
Wow. Did you have any time to prepare, or you just...
Well, it was like, the way that it was set up is everyone would do a 3-minute set of just stand-up, and then all the comics in the audience would write roast jokes about the person who just went up, and then we would get into groups and share the best ones from our group with the rest of the audience.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it was a fun show. I feel like that would be a fun thing to do here if people were into it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. That's makes so much sense. Maybe like have a out of town comic and be like, would you mind if you do your set? You know, like at Quantum Brewing, like, would you mind if you do your set and then the comics in the audience just roast you?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was like everyone was getting their turn getting roasted. It wasn't just it wasn't just one person.
Yeah, that makes sense because maybe if they have a lot of people that don't know each other. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess they don't have to be somebody that doesn't know the comics. It's just if everybody's getting roasted, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So how did you get into roasting?
I did my first roast about a year ago with Andrew Parker Davis at Mic Drop, and I was really nervous because I didn't know what to expect. I just watched a lot of clips of roast battles on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I mean, people are surprised a lot of the time that I do so many roast battles because I don't know, not like a mean person day to day really, but
Right.
I think it's less about being mean and more thinking about like, okay, what's funny about this person and what's an interesting way I could say that. I like writing short jokes and one-liner jokes a lot. I feel like roasts are a good way to do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Have you done any roasts before?
Yeah, I've done two. One at Mic Drop with Clint Beischer, I lost, and then one with Joshua Loya at Comedy Store La Jolla, and I lost that one as well. It's hard to go roast a blind guy.
Yeah, no, I've heard people say that like the odds are kind of stacked against you if you're roasting a disabled person because no one wants to be a jerk and be like, oh, this blind guy sucks.
Or yeah, even if it would be funny in another context, it just because they're right there. I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's interesting. And now I have to roast in June. Mario Mann, and I don't really know him.
Yeah, I don't really know anything
So
about
I'm
him.
trying to I have one. This will probably come afterwards. Come out after. But let's see. This might be a spoiler. Maybe I won't talk about it. I'm trying to think of when these episodes will come out. Not that anybody listens to these episodes. Getting a little more traction on YouTube than podcast feed, but that's okay. It's also about us getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you have a hobby or passion that is not related to comedy?
Yeah, I like painting.
Oh, nice.
Like doing watercolor painting, and I draw comics sometimes. I post a few of them on Instagram.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
But yeah, that's the main thing that I do outside of comedy.
Cool. Why are they playing music?
I don't know.
So, you probably, I just asked everybody the same question. Do you wish you started comedy earlier?
I don't know if it would have been possible for me to start comedy much earlier because I was 19 when I did my first open mic, and I mean, I guess I could have started in high school, but I don't know if people would want to hear ACT prep classes. What's up with that?
Yeah, they're high school students.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So, right now, what are your goals in comedy?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I want to keep doing more roasts, and I want to start doing more shows outside of San Diego, like doing more stuff in LA and
Cool.
Orange County, and just traveling more and doing comedy.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice. So do you have a favorite joke, either famous person or just whatever comes to mind when I say that?
A favorite joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of individual jokes. I feel like it's it's easier.
Or you have a favorite style of comedy, or?
I guess I don't know. I like when people can take something that seems kind of stupid and make it really funny.
Yeah.
Trying trying to think of examples. I mean, I like a lot of Maria Bamford's stuff.
Cool.
And I think, I don't know, she has a joke where she's doing an impression of, she's talking about her religious mom, and she does an impression of baby Jesus calling her on the phone, and it's just really funny the way that she does the voice and does this whole character, and it's almost like she's really like embodying this whole character. It's almost like a sketch, but it's just her doing stand-up, and I think that type of stuff is really funny.
I mean, is that music they're playing out there?
I don't know what's going on.
Well, I guess it should have been coordinated better. I had no idea that the headliner is going to be the headliner of the show is
right,
up there
yeah, because they
practicing
do the music. Right. Well, we have a little background music now.
Yeah, the show, don't copyright strike us. We're trying not to have your comedy songs in the background.
That'd be really funny if they sued you because you could hear their music in the background of your podcast.
Maybe I'll just... Well, I think I have a thing where it's like isolate the voices, so hopefully it realize that the singing is not what we want. Maybe we'll just try to speak up, and I know sometimes I talk too low. I know it's work, but put some air into it.
Yeah, let's just yell at each other the whole time.
So what's your favorite place to do comedy?
My favorite place to do comedy. I like Mic Drop a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's always a good room, always a good audience there, and I think, it's just, just a good place to go and do comedy.
Yeah, sweet. So do you have any merch so far?
Any merch? No, I mean, I guess it feels a little bit early.
It's never too early.
Yeah, well, I guess, you have your merch. I like that shirt that you have with the evil pretzels. Did you design that, or who did the...
Yeah, what I did is the first time I attempted the pretzel shirt, well, I mean, I made a few. I made the alphabet out of real pretzels and took pictures of each letter. But I didn't have the right lighting or be able to take the background out as good as I wanted it to. So this time I bought clip art of pretzels, and then I lined it up. These are a bunch of little pretzels.
Oh, so the letters are pretzels too?
Yeah.
So you designed the font from the clip art of the pretzels?
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I think it's just Arial or just some kind of standard font that just had it in a layer in the background, and I just took out, it was in black, and I took out as much of the black as I could, and then just hid the black afterwards.
Yeah, when I was in college working on Fish Wrap, we used this online font website to find different fonts for the paper, and there's a penis font that somebody found.
Okay.
But then someone was like, oh, well, that's sexist. How come there's a penis font but not a vagina font? So I designed a vagina font, but it looked really bad. I don't think anyone's going to be using it going forward.
Right. So did you guys ever use it, or you just designed it?
I think we just used it for one issue to be like, hey, look at this vagina font we designed.
Oh, that's funny. Let's see. What was your family life growing up?
I had a pretty good childhood. My parents have always been really supportive of me doing comedy, and I have a younger brother who is on the autism spectrum, and so it was, we had a little bit of a different relationship than most siblings because of the communication differences and him
Yeah.
not always being able to do the same activities together. But it's funny. He really likes certain sounds. He really likes loud noises, and he really likes the sound of people laughing or clapping. So my dad showed him a clip a while ago of one of my performances where people were laughing in the audience, and he really liked. I don't think he really was, I don't know, understanding the jokes or anything, but he really just liked the sound of people laughing and clapping. So he was like cracking up at just the noises from the clip.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and he sometimes he likes to hear crowds of people clapping or making noises. So there's been a couple times where my parents have invited a bunch of our relatives or neighbors over into the backyard to just like make noises for him or like clap for him, basically. It's kind of funny. I was thinking like, oh, like maybe I should have done that instead of trying to write all this material. Like I should have just asked everyone to come in the yard and clap for me.
Yeah, that's cool. So what's your like earliest memory?
My earliest memory, I think I have a memory of going on a red swing at the playground when I was maybe 2 years old.
Okay.
It's not really that interesting, so I don't know why that's my earliest memory.
You just can't control that. I mean, you can start making stuff up. And sometimes like someone shows you like a picture. They show you a picture when you already can now form memories. Then you'll like kind of fill it in, even though you don't really remember it.
Yeah, memories are interesting that way, where you do kind of edit things in your mind without even realizing it based on things that you learned later. And sometimes, I mean, most of the things from when I was a really young kid, I don't even know if I remember them or if I just remember someone else telling me about it.
Yeah.
Do people ever have interesting answers to that when you ask what their earliest memory is?
I can't remember. I don't think I ask everybody. Sometimes I just kind of jump around and then forget. But that's a good question. I will pay more attention and I will get back to you. So like, what's the biggest audience you performed for?
Probably like 300 people at.
Nice.
At some of Alex Pettit's shows, like at Duckfoot Brewery and the Adam Suter show.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can do that one day. I just gotta get funnier.
I believe in you, Aaron.
Thanks. So you said, I think you already answered that question. Oh, so where did you grow up?
I grew up in Encinitas.
Okay.
And yeah, that's where I'm living now. I moved back in with my parents after college.
Yeah. Okay, so that's even further than I thought. Jeez.
Oh, really? Where did you think I lived?
I thought North County or something. Or?
Well, Encinitas is in North County.
Oh, right.
It's like, it's a little bit south.
All of a sudden, I was getting, Encinitas is a little closer, than some North County places, actually.
Yeah, it's like south of Carlsbad.
Yeah. That's cool. I think I just got towns mixed up in my head, but now I got it. So it's easy for you to get to that First Street bar.
Yeah, I live like a 10-minute walk from there.
Oh, nice. That's cool. So I know you do different voices. Do you ever like consider, or have you ever done like a joke in a whole different character, or you just go into a voice and come out of it all the time?
I think it'd be fun to do different characters on stage. I really like what Christian Ricketts does with his characters on stage. I mean, I think the first time I ever saw him do comedy was at the Jazzy Wishbone when I was pretty new to doing stand-up around San Diego, and he was doing some character that was like a horror author who was eating gummy bears on stage, and I had no idea who he was, so at first I just thought like, oh, this is some weird guy who just walked into the mic and is just acting like this, and then I realized, oh wait, this is a character. This is like really funny because he's written all of this in the character, and it's funnier in a way when the audience doesn't know right away whether or not it's a character. Yeah. So I think it would be really fun to do something like that. But I mean, that is very different than what most people do at open mics. So a lot of it would depend on, like, does the audience get on board with it or not? Because I imagine sometimes they do and sometimes they don't.
Yeah. Maybe it'd be fun to, like, I want to do that more. I was, like, trying to think of how to, like, do a different jokes in another character, but maybe if I just, like, Christian, he, like, comes up with very specific things.
Yeah.
And then also he throws on another thing, like eating gummy bears on stage. You know what I mean? Like, because, like, do different voices and such, but
yeah, because you kind of, your character on stage is
I heard
a lot different than you are in real life, but it's
well, I mean, I feel like it's just a heightened version. All I can do is I know for myself. It makes it, like, somebody yesterday said, you know, because, like, sometimes I just come up with something like that, or some of the jokes I tell are based on, at least the start of it is a real thing. Like when a comic said, a comic like Taylor Great literally said to me, "Have you ever hit pure oxygen?" When we were talking about drugs, right?
Yeah.
And I literally said my punchline, yeah, but my hand went right through. I didn't do the gesture, obviously. I'm not that smart. I'm not that, you know. But then all the rest of it, you know, is just add tags. So, like, last night at Quantum Brewing, just talking with somebody, and I just said something similar, and then it's like, oh yeah, your comedy is the same, you know, off stage. It's just I'm not doing the character usually.
Yeah, you're exaggerating.
I'm not exaggerating. I'm not doing the full character, I guess I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like that for everyone. I mean, even if you're performing a character that you wrote on stage, it probably has a little bit of, like, some aspect of yourself in it.
Yeah. Yeah, the trick, I guess, still part of the process of learning your comedy voice is how do you get the audience on board? You know,
right?
They know they're at the comedy show, even though if they weren't expecting one. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to do too many things. Too many things.
Yeah, you want to do You want to do? Did you say you wanted to do songs too?
Well, I've done songs. It's just I just want to do everything. I want to do characters on stage. I want to do songs. Doing songs sounds fun. I used to know a little bit of guitar, but I didn't really practice or keep up with it at all. And I kind of wish I had, because I think that would be another fun way to do comedy. Yeah, I think I want to get a guitar and just at first just go up there and not really play it that well or something.
Yeah.
Because that's just funny to me. And not address it, just pretend like I know what I'm doing, even though I don't.
I did something like that in high school once, where I was taking a music class and we had to do like a final project where we wrote or performed a song in front of the class, and I think I wasn't really that good at guitar, so I wrote a bad song on purpose. It was kind of like a parody of hippies, I guess, and but I mean, I don't know, the people in the class seemed to think it was funny, so maybe that was where I really started doing comedy, was because I wanted to get out of doing my assignments.
Oh, that's cool. Nice. So do you have like what's your best booking story? Like, you got booked on something? Or...
Like the best show that I've been booked on, or?
You don't book shows, right?
No, I'm not. I'm not a booker. Okay. I don't run any shows.
Okay, so what anything stand out? Like, you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I got this show, and you know, maybe you weren't all the way ready for it or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think the California Cup Roast Battle tournament is probably the biggest thing I've been booked on so far. So I mean, that was pretty cool to be doing that with people who've been doing roast for a really long time and who I'd
Nice.
like seen their stuff before and thought they were really funny, and I was on the same show with them. Like it felt,
That's cool.
yeah, it felt good to be, to be a part of that.
Nice. Let's see. You talked about Kill Tony, but you've never been on it at all, right?
No, I think I was going to try to be on it, but then it didn't work out.
Yeah, I get it. What's the worst thing about comedy right now?
The worst thing about comedy right now, I guess nowadays you have to do a lot more self-promotion
Right.
than ever before, because there's all the social media you can use, which, I mean, it's a good thing in a way because it means there's more ways to get yourself out there and get seen by people, but it can be overwhelming sometimes because, I don't know, I've just never really posted on social media that much, so it's kind of like I have to remind myself, oh, I need to keep promoting myself and posting flyers and like letting people know that I exist, and it doesn't really come that naturally.
Right.
To me, I'm kind of like, oh, should I put a funny caption on this flyer or just post it?
Right.
And editing. I need better clips of myself. I feel so embarrassed whenever I watch a video of myself. I'm just like, oh, I don't want to look at this.
Right, I get it. Okay, I know, you're so distracting the show. So what's your favorite roast battle that you've done so far?
My favorite roast battle I've done so far, I really liked the one that I did against Lexi Akinelli in the second round of the tournament. I feel like we both came in prepared with a lot of good stuff, and
Nice.
I was getting a lot of good energy from the crowd, and it felt like it went really well.
Yeah. So, is it like do you think it's a different skill to be like more in the moment at a roast, to be able to respond to what they're saying?
I think so, yeah. I think you do have to mentally prepare a lot beforehand, just thinking about, okay, well, what are some things that the person might say about me? Like, what would the audience...
That's the hardest part. It's like...
Yeah, well, it's hard to predict sometimes, because sometimes, like, when you're doing a roast battle, usually you'll exchange information about yourselves and your life and stuff, but then a lot of the jokes that hit the hardest with the audience tend to be the ones that are just about what you look like and like things that the audience would notice about you right away.
Right.
So a lot of the jokes end up being like, this person looks like blah blah blah.
Yeah. Let me just look at my notes.
I forgot this water was here.
Yeah, it's thirsty work. Talking a lot.
I'm dry mouth.
Talking. Let's see. I'm trying to see when is this gonna. I started getting behind because I haven't been recording as many episodes. So,
How many episodes have you done?
ooh, that's a good question. So episode 35 is going to come out on next Friday, 5/10. Then I got Katie Orchard on 5/17. And then, so you're going to be number 37. And that will come out 17 plus 7. I think it's the 24th. What do you think the odds are? I guess the odds are pretty good that Mario Mann would listen to the episode.
Oh, the guy that you're roasting?
Yeah, I would be interested to, maybe I should just cut it or hold the episode or something.
Oh, you don't want him to get more info on you from listening to it?
Well, I mean, I was wondering
That'd be kind of an interesting strategy for a roast battle. Is just don't give the other person any information and
He hasn't
wipe
asked.
your social media so there's no pictures of you. They have to make everything up in the moment.
He hasn't asked for anything, but he also has come to Quantum Brewing, and then I saw him do comedy there, and I was like, he was like, seemed like he was being loud. He was like yelling too much, like, it's a small place, and, and it's a microphone, and he's like, it's kind of like just intense, but I don't know. Maybe he does that all the time. So it is May 4th.
Yeah.
So, do you like Star Wars or any kind of, what kind of TV shows or books or whatever are into?
Yeah, I'm not a big Star Wars fan.
That's fine.
Yeah, let's see, TV shows. I've been watching old episodes of Girls,
that's good.
Lena Dunham's show, and yeah, I mean, I never really watched it when it was on TV, but I mean, yeah, I've been going back and watching it, and I think, yeah, it's very funny and the writing's good, so I've been watching that. And then books, I guess I like reading like historical fiction. Like, I read this book called Affinity by Sarah Waters recently that I liked a lot.
That's cool.
It was like it takes place in like England in the 1800s, and it's about this woman who meets like this woman who does seances and she's in prison for murder, and then they like fall in love, and it's like, I don't know, it actually has a really sad ending, but I liked that book a lot.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, what about you? What type of
like sci-fi fantasies. I've read a little bit of alternate history books, like The Man in the High Castle.
Oh yeah, I've read that. Yeah, no, that was interesting.
That's one of the few ones where I feel like the show like took the ideas and like expanded the timeline, at least, to where like there was 2 seasons, and I was like, wow, that's kind of cool that happened, because there was only one book,
Yeah, I never saw the TV show, but I think I read the book a while ago, and yeah, it was interesting, all the alternate history stuff.
Yeah, I don't know where they got that. I mean, maybe I'm remembering wrong, but it just felt like I watched season 1 of the show, then I read the book, and then season 2 came, and I was like, wait a minute, how are they going to have a season 2? And then season 2 was like, the story kept going. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I guess that happens a lot when they make an adaptation of a book. There's only so much material, and they kind of have to expand on it.
Yeah, I guess it happens more. I guess, but maybe it just felt like they did such a good job in season 2. It was like, it felt like it was really, that is real, like that's canon or whatever. But I don't know, it probably isn't. I guess sometimes stuff is, you can get a hold of material that wasn't released, like if you're authors, maybe the author had, it'll go a lot of like background stuff. It takes a lot to write a novel. I haven't written a novel, but I've heard about the process. I want to do more writing.
Have you ever written any short stories or anything?
I wrote short stories and poems, and that's as far as I can get, trying to like write a whole novel. But then I'm like, oh, maybe I should just like write a bunch of short stories, and then if they naturally start fitting together, like you find yourself writing about the same characters again, and then, or even in the same world, that might be cool.
Yeah, I guess that's what a lot of novels are kind of like. It's just a bunch of short stories put together.
Yeah, or like with sketches too. It's like it'd be cool to like oh, we should do a sequel to that sketch, and then maybe it just all of a sudden it's like, now it's like, oh, it's longer, you know? But maybe you just have to do a lot to get things to the same quality, or, you know, higher quality that you're happy with it.
Yeah, I don't understand how how people can come up with a whole plot for a novel. It's, I don't know, it seems like a skill that probably takes a while to get good at.
It's a lot of, like, everybody has their own process, but, you know, for a novel, it's like a lot of planning, and, you know, well, it just depends. Like, some people just can write and then just revise and not even have an end. I don't know.
Yeah, are there any like, I don't know, books that you've read that you thought were funny, or that you think the author would be good at stand-up?
Oh yeah, definitely. When I was used to read more, I feel like in the past I read more of like variety of stuff, you know, like fantasy that's also funny, you know.
Yeah, like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and things like that.
Yeah, and then also like there's the series called Myth Adventures, and it's a bunch of like and then what else? There's or like, even when I was younger, like the Zank novels that has a lot of puns in it. It's like this fantasy world that's like all puns are like real, basically.
Oh really? I've never heard of that before. So it was a series when you were younger?
Robert not Robert A. It's Anthony Pierce, I think, and he has a whole mess of them, like 30 or something. You know, they're short little fun books. Takes place in this like fictionalized Florida, but and it's interesting, like, because like time, you know, passes, and just more and more stuff happens. New characters come, and yeah, it's been a while though, so I can't. It's like I'm not doing a good job of explaining it.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. So, did you ever do any sports, or?
Do I look like I did any sports? No, I'm kidding. No, I.
Did you ever do a silly walk competition?
No, I never really did sports. I mean, I was always kind of like, I don't know, I was kind of always a little bit like out of it as a kid. Like during PE, I would try to just like sit down in the field and see how long I could get away with it. I like just kind of going on walks for exercise, or like,
nice.
I don't know, going to the gym and going on the Stairmaster for a while and just kind of listening to music or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So what kind of music did you listen to?
Like now or
Whatever, doesn't matter.
I don't know. I guess kind of like, I guess, I don't know, a lot of different stuff. Kind of like alternative, I guess.
Cool. Alternative music. It's music that's
alternative
not
to good music.
Actually music.
No.
It's that's a beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I guess humans would like to categorize everything. And it's like there really are no categories.
Yeah.
It's just whatever sounds good, man.
Yeah, whatever sounds good.
I remember my older sister would be like, what would be music playing? Like, who is this? And be like, for a while she was like saying that because she didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes she'd be like, no, I like it, but I don't know who it is. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it sounds kind of accusatory if you're like, who is this?
Yeah, I guess it was just like a string of times would say, like, who is this? And it just felt like it meant that even though she didn't say it like, who is this? But it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of funny. Oh, do you have like a favorite like inside joke you have? Like
A favorite inside joke?
yeah, that you don't mind sharing with the world. Like, oh, your best friend used to do this. Or we had a little thing like we would say poppin' stuffs. I don't know. You know what inside jokes are,
yeah,
right?
Well, no.
I'm having a bad time explaining.
Well, yeah, I'd love to have an inside joke with someone one day. No, I mean, well, one time, my boyfriend and I were in Nebraska visiting his grandparents, and there was like not really much to do out there, but we passed this store that was selling mango Pepsi. And for some reason we just thought that was like really funny, and so we made up this song. It was like a jingle for mango Pepsi that went like, mango Pepsi all night long, mango Pepsi, wouldn't you guess, mango Pepsi, it's not so wrong, mango Pepsi, take a rest. And that was our jingle for mango Pepsi, so we still just sing that all the time.
Wow.
It's really silly, but I think of it whenever I see mango Pepsi at the store.
They still have mango Pepsi
Yeah,
at the store?
it's pretty good actually.
Oh, I can't have it. I'm allergic to mangoes.
Oh no, I don't know if it has actual mango in it.
That's even worse.
You should just try some and see. It's the only way to know if you'll have a reaction or not.
Right. I tried to like, I'm off caffeine.
Oh, okay. That must be hard.
Yeah, I mean, I drink a lot of soda water. And then at night I drink, ice water. Do you like the taste of room temperature water or ice water or hot water? What's
I
your
like
favorite?
ice water.
Ice water, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I drink a lot of coffee and green tea. I don't know.
Isn't green tea bad? It's green. It's
Oh
not
no,
right.
It's
either not right
green.
or it's spoiled. I'm so confused.
So you're saying that all vegetables are also bad too? The spinach is bad for you because it's green, and peas are bad for you because they're green.
I don't know. Just the way my mind works. I just like green tea. That must be bad because tea's not normally green. But those other things you named are usually green. Green apples might be bad though.
But green tea is usually green.
No, that's not the way.
No?
That's not the way my mind was working at the time that I said that.
I mean, the only color that food isn't normally is blue. Even blueberries are purple.
Well, technically, I guess.
That's like I never understood with candy when there's a blue raspberry flavor. Like that's always the flavor that the blue candy is. I don't understand why they wouldn't just make it blueberry flavored.
Yeah, it's interesting. The banana flavor, they haven't ever changed it, but the flavor is an extinct banana.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I wish I could try one of the bananas that flavor is based off of.
Well, then it wouldn't be extinct anymore, would it?
That's like someone should do Jurassic Park, but like instead of trying to bring back the dinosaurs, it's just extinct banana varieties. And then they end up like spawning new diseases from the termites that lived in old bananas or something. Right. It has to be some kind of conflict.
Yeah, I think even like dogs, I don't think we're ever going to get the original wolves, because even wolves have some of the dog. We took wolves and bred them specialized, human culture, and there still were wolves, but I don't think it's like a purebred wolf really, because like there's always dogs that get it out. So I don't know. I'm not a
Are the wolves now mixed with regular dogs? There's no like.
I'm just saying that probably a percentage. There's no pure-blooded wolf, because no one was curating the wolves.
Yeah, no one was breeding them.
And then humans are just all over the place, so it's like hard to get a pure Woof. And then the wolves were evolving on their own too, right? That's what I imagine.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But they're all. I think dogs are interesting because like they're so different looking in sizes and shapes and personalities that it's like, how are they all the same species?
Yeah, my parents did like a dog DNA test on their dog 'cause she was a rescue, so they were curious about what she actually is. And when they got her, the place told her that she was a terrier mix, but I think the test showed that she was like something like half Chihuahua and half pit bull, and then a bunch of other stuff mixed in.
Wow.
Which is kind of like, I mean, you don't really picture like a Chihuahua and a pit bull like breeding together, so I don't know if I want to picture how that works.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, sometimes they what they do is like there's breeds of dog that can't reproduce naturally, and they gotta like help them out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like artificial insemination and stuff. It's crazy.
Virgin dog. Dogs with no
I mean, they
game.
I think they can reproduce with other dogs. It's just
They have like
maybe I'm just making this up, or
they have like pickup artist classes for the dogs to show them how to reproduce. Like,
right.
you don't want to sniff her like that; she's gonna be creeped out.
Yeah, I don't why. Oh no, maybe it's not the pure one. It's like when you crossbreeds, right?
Oh, like they're
That's
sterile.
What it is. Like,
yeah.
or they're not sterile. It's just it would be like they would have to find a way to like, the male dog is so short as compared to the big one. You would have to like have like steps. I don't want to get too graphic and start thinking about dogs having sex.
Oh, I'm already always thinking about that.
They're always just doing it in public and on your leg. Anyway.
Yeah, I had a friend whose dog kept humping my leg once, and when she told me, like, oh, he does that to everyone, I felt kind of offended that the dog wasn't attracted to me specifically.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought of another idea. What if I edited it, the podcast, and like I took out the roast jokes? Would that be okay? I asked you some advice on these roast jokes.
Oh yeah, you could take that out. You can.
I mean, I can release it later. After the roast has happened.
However you want to edit it, it's fine. Just edit it to make me look really stupid, like even more so than I already have.
Well, that sounds like a lot of work. I realize this comes out every week, right? I don't have my AI bot, like, I guess you could just be like, every time I ask you a question, just put in the things where you go, and not your actual answers. And someone had to be like, wait a minute, that's the same, She was exactly the same way. Okay, are you ready?
For what?
I'm gonna go over, this, you don't know who Mario Man is, but he's Mexican.
Okay.
And his name is Mario.
You're gonna test the roast jokes.
I'm just
on
gonna
me
ask
now?
you.
Okay.
I feel like you got one of the roast masters here. This is like a great opportunity. Mario wishes he was a plumber because then he would have at least one useful skill.
That's pretty good.
Now, should I stop there, or like I was going to try to make it longer? I think that's one of the things I do is I try to make it too long, especially since he takes a dump everywhere he goes, including the stage, including on stage. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the second part too. I think sometimes it helps to have a two-part joke, because then if you get a laugh at the first line, then you can stretch it out a little bit longer with the second part.
Okay. Do you find like you're able to, like a longer joke, be able to do the whole thing and not get like interrupted or.
Yeah, you just have to make sure the other person doesn't step on your joke.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, sometimes that's something I have a little bit of trouble with, I think, because I'm not that aggressive on stage, so sometimes if I'm not careful, the other person will interrupt and kind of steamroll me a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Mario is so stupid he thought if he ate a big red mushroom, it would make him bigger.
I don't know if that really makes sense.
It's
I mean,
it's
I
the
feel
game.
like,
It's the game Mario.
well, yeah. I mean, I know that. I feel like it would be funny to do something about maybe him eating mushrooms and like tripping on mushrooms. Like go that angle with the mushroom eating thing.
Oh, right. Like he ate a mushroom and he thought he got bigger.
Maybe he like.
Well, I mean, I don't want you to write the joke for me, but I appreciate your feedback. I know if I think sometimes I do voice to speech and it doesn't come out right. Oh. I don't know. That one's not ready. That doesn't make any sense. Mario thought that the song 99 Problems was about the 99-cent store.
Cause he's like poor?
You know, 99, is it Jay-Z, 99 Problems?
Yeah, I know the song.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's not very... I need a lot.
I guess,
a lot of
I don't know, I feel like it could be fun if there's something that was just more related to him specifically, like not just a joke that you could make about almost anyone, like
right.
connected to something about him or something the audience would assume about him or notice about him.
Right. Yeah. Oh, okay, let's see. If Mario was invited to a gangbang, he would ask, do I have to get jumped in?
That's good.
Okay, thank you. Mario's parents swear he was a beautiful baby, but he started swearing at an early age, and that made him ugly.
Maybe, yeah.
Mario has been trying to work on his personality, but the problem is there is nothing there to start with.
Yeah, that could be good. I mean, if he's a really boring person, maybe, or if he seems really bland or not interesting, that could be a funny joke to make about him.
Every time I roast a Mexican, they smell like Mexican hot chocolate.
Maybe like...
You have to like kind of know what that is. Though.
Yeah. I feel like maybe like some type of meat would be better.
Oh, okay.
Like then, I don't know, carne asada or something.
Right. Yeah, that one's too like personal about me. It's like doesn't make. Yeah. Oh my, I don't know if I could pull this off on stage. I was doing research about Mario, but every time I looked at a picture of him or heard his voice, I threw up in my mouth a little bit. So it's very hard to get through this, now being forced to be this close to him in real life.
I think with a lot of these, it would just help if you got more specific about him, like pointing out like features that he has or like the type of person that he looks like maybe just look at pictures of him and think about, okay, what would, if I was seeing this guy for the first time ever as an audience member, what's the first thing I would notice about him, or like what's an assumption I would make about him.
Right.
And then that's kind of what audiences usually like, because you're you're tapping into what they're thinking about the person.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it would be nice if part of the rules were like you gotta like show everybody what you're gonna wear to the roast.
I've run into trouble with that before
like,
too.
Because it's like, oh, you must have to have like a lot of like, oh, if you dress just fancy, okay. If you dress, you know what I mean, like.
Right, yeah, I mean, I had a problem with that at the last roast I did because I was gonna make a joke about Raphael Wolfgang having like a Hitler haircut, but then when we got to the roast, I noticed he had a different haircut than he did in all his pictures on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna make any sense to the audience anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely need more. I think I just need to stare at pictures of them more. Yeah,
well, and sometimes if you're a little bit early to the roast battle, you can have a little bit of time to look at them in person and think of things about what they look like that night that could be funny.
Nice. This is how a master does it. Have lots of jokes prepared and then also not be so nervous that you can't just think of a new joke. And I mean, sometimes I'm able to just like, not a roast yet, but just like do a fresh joke on stage and no one knows I just wrote it.
Yeah, that's always the best feeling when that happens. Or there's been a couple times where I've thought of a tagline to a joke on stage and I was like, oh yeah, how'd I never think of that before?
Yeah, it's fun. There's been a few times where I just felt like I was on fire, like coming up with stuff, trying on stage, it works, come up with new stuff, and then all of a sudden it just goes off a cliff and it's like you just bomb. You're like, but I was on a streak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Well, anyway, thank you for your advice and your feedback on that. We might even be able to just keep this in because I'm probably not going to use any of that.
You're not going to use any of my advice?
Your advice, but not my bad jokes. Does that make sense? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, well, whatever you want to do.
I'm not going to use any of your advice. No, I'm going to
I
take
thought
your.
That's what you meant.
No, I'm going to take your advice and do better, do more research, and because like sometimes like you just write, and it's like you just keep coming up with stuff. On the last one, Joshua, like I had a joke prepared, and then I just switched it to a different one just based off of what was going on. And then I'm like, wait, was that really better? I don't know. But at least I was like feeling good that I had jokes memorized, and then was able to have another one still in my head, memorized enough to where I was able to do it.
Yeah, I think it's always good to have backup jokes for a roast because then you can go with whichever one seems like the best in the moment, and then if there's overtime and they want to see another round, then you'll have a backup joke.
Yeah.
But people do a lot of digging on social media sometimes. Like when I did the roast with Evan Warner, when I got there, the first thing he said to me was, "So how's James doing?" And James is my dad. I'm like, oh yeah, he really went through my Facebook.
Wow. That's crazy. So, is there anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about?
I could talk to you forever.
Well, thank you.
So, but let's see. How do people, just so make sure we get this out of the way, and people listen to the whole episode so they know everything. How do people get a hold of you online or, follow you or whatever?
Yeah, they can follow me at Audrey Hebert Comedy on Instagram.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's good. But also we try to encourage people to go see live comedy, right?
Yeah.
So say it. Go see live comedy.
Go see live comedy.
Are you gonna see live comedy today?
I hope so. Hope I'm not seeing dead comedy.
Yes, you don't want to see any dead comedy. Let's see what else we got. So I also would encourage every comic to like start doing merch, even if it's just stickers or something.
Yeah, no, that's a good
practice.
idea. It'd be cool to start doing stickers soon. So I think I have a couple jokes that could work as stickers. And then
Nice.
since I also do painting and illustration and things like that, I could design something that could go on a sticker.
Yeah. I'd like to do a sketch with you. You know,
Yeah, that
either
sounds
like
cool.
write one together. Oh, also was would you ever like go on stage with another comic?
Yeah, what have you ever done that before?
Just with like bucket stuff. You know, pull out kind of improv topics, or you know, things where you pull out a random thing the audience wrote. A lot of times there's other comics. And just like talk about that. That's one thing. But it'd be fun to just like, you know, do like, oh, okay, you're gonna pretend you're, you know, you're this character. I mean, you know, like almost like an improv game in some ways, but like, okay, I don't know. You know, you're my long lost sister or something, you know, and I'm another character, you know, just
Yeah, no, that
or
would
I
be
don't know,
fun.
whatever.
Could try that at a showcase or something.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
But there's only so much time, right?
Yeah, only so much time.
That's how time works. Do you ever like think about what time is?
Yeah, it is pretty trippy to think about because like the way that we think about time is like I mean we invented not we but like humanity I guess like invented the idea of hours and minutes and all these like labels for the passing of time, but like time would still pass even if we didn't have those labels. So I guess it's something that's like exists in nature but that we also kind of made up at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, but other animals, they seem like they have natural clocks as well.
Yeah, it's like the weather and they notice things about the sky and the time of day and the sun.
Yeah, you know, I guess they're just kind of reacting to to the environment too. You know.
Yeah, maybe we should go back to that. Just like, oh, the show starts at sunset tonight. It's not 8 p.m.
Right. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Like, do you like daylight savings time? I don't like that they changed.
No, I don't think anybody does.
Why do we still have it?
I don't know.
I think we voted.
Yeah, what
Congress,
was...
It's just some silly thing. Like, okay, I thought it was done, and it's like you look into it. It's like, nope, we still got to do another step. And it's like, oh my goodness, it's so crazy. Well, we probably should wrap up because you're gonna be on the shows tonight.
What time is it?
7:19.
Oh, okay, yeah, we still got a little bit of time till the show, but yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes you want to
Nice to have a
relax
little bit
before.
of time to relax before.
There's going to be audience members coming in.
Yeah.
You start getting nervous. There's nobody here, or there's a lot of people. Or do you ever get nervous based on how many people are in the audience? Like more people and more excited, or vice versa?
I guess I'm more excited and more nervous when there's more people in the audience. And sometimes it makes me a little bit nervous if there's not a lot of people in the audience because I'm like, oh, I'm going to bomb if I don't get the momentum going with the people that are here.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Have you hosted a comedy show?
Yeah, I've hosted here
Okay, I thought so.
a few times, and then I've hosted the mic and the show at Jazzy Wishbone before.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I like hosting. It's you definitely have to be really in the moment and like paying attention to everything that's going on, and think about like how the audience is feeling in the moment and how to transition between the comics. It's kind of like a whole other skill than just doing stand-up.
Yeah, you're like keeping the show going.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, I think this is a good place to stop.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for talking to me.
I'd love to have you on again sometime.
Yeah.
Do more stuff with you.
Yeah, definitely. You can do some sketches or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Sweet. All right, say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.